Good morning to all. Today discuss about the mass transfer operation 1. Choice of separation method discuss કરીશું આપણે. This is the most important point. શોર્ટ નોટ માટે 3 या 4 માર્ક માટે પૂછાશે. પ્રીવિયસ લેક્ચરમાં આપણે ક્લાસિફિકેશન ઓફ માસ ટ્રાન્સફર ઓપરેશન જોયા હતા. એમાં 3 પોઈન્ટ હતા. ડાયરેક્ટ કોન્ટેક્ટ ટુ મિસિબલ ફેઝ, ઇમિસિબલ ફેઝ અને ચોઇસ સેપરેશન ઓફ ધ મેમ્બ્રેન મેથડ. એના આપણે ડાયરેક્ટ અને ઇનડાયરેક્ટ કોન્સેપ્ટ બી જોઈ ગયા હતા આપણે. તો કેમિકલ એન્જિનિયરિંગ સિમ્પલી ધ ચોઇસ ઓફ સેપરેશન મેથડમાં આપણે ડિસ્કસ કરીશું આપણે ડિટેલમાં. ઓકે, સિમ્પલ. હાઉ ટુ સેપરેશન મેથડ. સેપરેશન આપણે અલગ અલગ મેથડથી કરી શકીએ છીએ. સિમ્પલી લિક્વિડ એક્સટ્રેક્શન, લીચિંગ છે, ઓકે, ડિસ્ટિલેશન્સ છે. ધીસ ઇઝ અ લોટ્સ ઓફ ઇક્વિપમેન્ટ એન્ડ અ પાર્ટ ઓફ ધ માસ ટ્રાન્સફર. સિમ્પલ, ધ કેમિકલ એન્જિનિયર faced with the problem of separating the component of a solution must ordinarily choose from the several possible method, and the some method include the in mass transfer operation. The chemical engineer faced with the problems of separating the component of a solution must ordinarily choose from the several possibilities. So from some method, while the choice in a usually limited phases by a particular physical characteristics and some materials. So based on these processes, okay, the usually limited by the particular physical characteristics of this material to be handled and the necessary for making a decision. Nevertheless, almost always and exist unit the fundamental of various operations. ઓકે, અલગ અલગ ઓપરેશન્સ છે એના બેઝિસ પર આપણે ડિસ્કસ કરીશું. સમ કેરેક્ટરિસ્ટિક્સ ઓફ ધ મટીરિયલ to be handled. Okay, simply made by the choice of separation method for any chemical engineering. Some physical characteristics ના બેઝિસ પર જોવાના છે. ઓકે, simply while the choice is usually limited by a particular physical characteristics of the material to be handled the necessary for making a decision. Nevertheless, almost always exist until the fundamentals of the various operation have been clearly understood. Of course, no basis for such decision is available, but it is well at least to be established the nature of the alternative at the beginning na basis par joise. One can sometime choose between using a mass transfer operation of the sort discussed in this book and a purely mechanical separation method. For example, જોઈએ કોઈ બી આપણે in this separation of a desired material and minerals from its ore decision, it may be some possibilities to use either the mass transfer operation of leaching with a solvent or the purely mechanical method of flotation. Vegetable oils can be separated from the seeds, it which they occurs by expression by the leaching with a solvent. ઓકે, અહીંયા જો લીચિંગ બેઝિસ પર આપણે ડિસ્કસ કર્યું છે લીચિંગ પાર્ટ. હવે લીચિંગમાં કેવું કે મેકિંગ ઓફ ધ ટી સિમ્પલ ફોર્મેશન ના બેઝિસ પર આપણે જોવાના છે. Now, the vegetable oils can be separated from the seeds, it which they occurs by some expression or by leaching with a solvent. A vapor can be removed from a mixture with a permanent gas by the mechanical operation of compression or by the mass transfer operation of gas absorption or adsorption. Sometimes both mechanical and mass transfer operation are used, especially where the former are incomplete, as in a process for recovering vegetable oils when expression is followed by leaching formation. Okay, simply a more common places. For example, bringing water from wet laundry followed by air drying operations. It is characteristics that at the end of the portion and some operations the substance is removed by a mechanical method. Okay, mechanical operations તમે already ભણી ગયા છો. Is a pure substances. Okay, if removed by diffusional method, it is associated with another substances. Once can also frequently goes between a purely mass transfer operation. Simply a mass transfer operation equipment. Okay, once can be frequently the choose between a purely mass transfer operation and a chemical reactions. Okay, a combination of both water can be removed from an ethanol water solution either by causing it to react with unslack lime or by the special method of distillation. For some example, hydrogen sulfide can be separated from other gases either by absorption in a liquid solvent with or without simultaneous chemical reactions or by a chemical reaction with the ferric oxide. So the choice of separation method ma simply the hydrogen sulfide can be separated simultaneous chemical reaction or by a chemical reaction with ferric oxide. Chemically method द्वारा unrelated destroy the substances removed, while mass transfer method usually permit its eventual recovery is alternated from without great difficulties. There are also choice to be made with the mass transfer operation. For example, a gaseous mixture of oxygen and nitrogen may be separated. Now, the more discussion part for a mass transfer and the choice of separation method. ઓકે, શું કીધું કે હાઇડ્રોજન સલ્ફાઇડ છે એ શાના વડે સેપરેટ છે? Simply separated from the gaseous for by the absorption method and using a liquid solvent with or without chemical reactions. While chemical reactions is ferric oxide, chemical method ordinarily destroy the substances removed, while the mass transfer method permits eventual recovery in unaltered from without great difficulties. Okay, simply the discussed in their part, there are also choice to be made within the mass transfer operation. For some example, a gaseous mixture of oxygen and nitrogen may be separated by the preferential adsorption of the oxygen on activated carbon. કે ચોઇસ ઓફ સેપરેશન મેથડમાં કઈ વસ્તુનો આપણે યુઝ કરવાનો છે. A gaseous mixture of oxygen and nitrogen may be separated by preferential adsorption અને ઓક્સિજન ઇઝ અ એક્ટિવેટેડ કાર્બનનો આપણે યુઝ કરીએ છીએ. Simply made by this, made within, there are also choices to be made within the mass transfer operation. For any example, a gaseous mixture of oxygen and nitrogen may be separated by preferentially adsorption of the oxygen on activated carbon by adsorption, by distillation, or by gaseous effusion. A liquid solution of acetic acid may be separated by distillation processes. Okay, simple આપણે mass transfer ની definition જોઈ ગયા હતા. Is a moment of the any molecules of the substances for a concentration gradient यानी कि concentration difference for a higher concentration to lower concentration. Okay, and the last in the few paragraph is this one. For the important point in a mass transfer operation for a choice of separation method, the principal basis for choice in any case is cost. That method which cost is at least is usually the main one of to be used. Occasionally other factors also influence the decision. However, the simplest operation, while it may be not to be at least some costly, is sometimes desired because it will be trouble free. Sometimes a method will be described because of imperfect knowledge to design method or unavailability or data for design, so that result cannot be guaranteed. The favorable previous experience with one of the method may be given strong consideration. Okay, this is the part of the completely over. In the previous lecture next lecture માં જોઈશું આપણે method conducting the mass transfer operation and principle જોઈશું આપણે. Okay, this chapter 1 is completely over થઈ જશે. In a previous lecture revision part, direct and indirect contact. Read and following the some points. Simply the operation depending upon the contact of two immiscible phases. So particularly can be further subclassified into two types. The direct operation produce the two phases from a single phase solution by addition or removal of heat, fractional distillation, and the crystallization, and one of the from the fractional extraction are of these types. And the indirect operations involved addition of foreign substances and included the gas adsorption and the stripping adsorption, drying, leaching, liquid extraction, and certain types of the fractional crystallization. It is the some characteristics of the direct operational that the products are obtained directly, the free of added substances. Now there's some characteristics direct operations and some product is directly feed in the substances. These operations are therefore the sometimes favored over the indirect if that could be used. If these separated products are required relatively pure, the disadvantages of the direct and indirect operations incurred by the addition of foreign substances are several. The removed substances is obtained as a solution, which in this case the must in turn be separated. Okay, now the choice of separation method જે આપણે જોઈ ગયા already. Okay, thank you so much.